Now, I freely admit, this pick looks a little funky with the inboard halves of the nacelles already attached to the struts. But, because of the lighting, I needed to do that so I could get the lighting wires and fibers into the nacelles where I'm going to mount the lights. Of course, the fiber will get mounted back here on the end. But it also gives me an idea just how big this thing's really going to be. And the answer to that is, of course, huge. Alright, as you can see, I now have the circuit for the nacelle lights wired in. These aren't as bright as they look on camera, but they are definitely bright enough that once I put the other half of the nacelle on, popped one loose. I put the other half of the nacelle on, I'm going to have plenty of lights in there. So far, so good. All lights still working. Alright, it may not look like I've got much done here, but at this stage I've got the end pieces in both nacelles, as well as the inserts here, both nacelle halves. I've decided that these I'm going to go in after assembly and fill with crystal clear rather than use the inserts provided, just because I think it's going to be easier to deal with it that way. I've also gone in using a blue wash rather than a transparent blue to get the end pieces tinted, as well as tinting the nacelle caps. I may put another coat on those. We'll see. Next up, though, is going to be the fans. Alright, and here we are with the fiddly of the fiddly. I decided I don't need another coat of blue on the nacelle cones themselves. That looks plenty dark enough with the fan mechanism in there. That gives you a closer look at the actual fans as engineered by Paul Besednik over at Paragraphics. That is so much better than the details supplied with the kit. It was fiddly, but it was worth it. At this stage, I need to glue the backing plates into the cones and get the cones glued into the nacelles. We are moving right along. Alright, I freely admit I couldn't resist a little preview shot. This is kind of how it will look with the lights on once everything's assembled and painted. Of course, the lower section here will get painted and light blocked and painted. But there is why I did this. Definitely happy with the result. Alright, at this point, as you can see, major construction is pretty much done. I've still got about 6 parts to put on the nacelles, and then construction will be done. I've gone through and with micromask done the ends of the nacelles, as well as all the windows that are actually currently in place, along with the strip of lights that will be here. I've also masked off the end caps a little. I apologize for the mess. I still have some seam work to do. Get a clamp on that. Yep. Yeah. There. That should help that immensely. Should also help close up the worst of that seam. Alright. This will be the last time we see her before we go for primer. Ran into a problem on the port nacelle. When I rolled the model over, the two halves were actually overlapping, and as I went to peel them out, these two inserts here and here popped free. So I wound up having to split the whole nacelle open, glue them back into place. Now I'll have to glue the nacelle back together. Fun, fun, fun.